This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. We're going to talk about the fighters. Mikey Garcia, I've already clowned you on part 82. So this is part 83 on why Errol the True Spence is going to what? Bulldoze Shawn Constipated Porter. Well, in part 83, we break down all of these fighters and their assessments of Spence versus Porter. Terrence Bud Crawford, we're going to start with him. He's clearly going to be fighting Errol the True Spence possibly next. If Manny Pacquiao ducks that work, right? If Manny Pacquiao understands his true AARP retirement Pac-Man style and doesn't want no free smoke, which he doesn't want with Errol the True Spence, because he knows he's getting bulldozed into AARP retirement style, then we're talking Terrence Bud Crawford next. So of course you're going to say, oh, Shawn Constipated Porter's a tough fight. Shawn Constipated Porter, elbows and low blows. See, if you were fighting Shawn Constipated Porter, this is the stuff that I keep telling you about these boxers. That's why I say they ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. You would have been getting on his ass about that shit. You would have been calling him a dirty ass fighter. Right? But now Errol the True Spence, the guy that supposedly is in your mind your rival, well, you're too light on your ass. That's why I call you Bud Light. That's your new nickname now. You too fucking light on your ass because Earl's too big, too durable, and built too tough for your ass because he's going to bulldoze you, steamroll you, maul you, and punish you right after he's done with Shawn Constipated Porter. He just needs the Shawn Constipated Porter fight to have legitimacy universally at 147. I know he's legitimate. The Errol the True Spence fans know he's legitimate, but your ass, for some reason, don't know he's legitimate, and you're gonna get fucking bulldozed, like he told you three times to your fucking face. You too light on your ass, and I will straight up stop you. Let me say it again. You too light on your ass, and I will straight up stop you. The only reason why you want this to be a close fight is so it can give you more credence. Now, Terrence Bud Crawford's been debunked. Andre Ward. Oh, I don't like when fighters blow up too much in weight in between fights. Blah, 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 blah. He said that shit about Gervonta Tank Davis. Now he's saying the shit about Errol the True Spence. I told you, man, there's an agenda against PBC fighters. You guys have to look at the bigger picture here. See, the problem is people reside in what we call boxing 101. They don't understand there's levels to this shit. There's boxing 202 and boxing 303. I'm always in boxing 303 lane. That's why these motherfuckers can't keep up. When I try to give you guys cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truth, you don't want to hear me. Andre Ward is letting you know his hate for Errol the True Spence. Really, dude? 60-40? You really think this fight is that fucking close? Come on, man. Andre Ward, I've already debunked your ass on this stuff. You know Errol the True Spence is leagues and shoulders above the welterweight division. And let me tell you why you're a hypocrite. Because on one end, you said that Errol the True Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford are the two special fighters at 147. You got to keep that same energy, Ward. And you a fighter that I like. But as an announcer, and lately, the way you've been talking on ESPN, which is the new variation of HBO, I don't know where you stand because you're speaking too sideways out of your ass like Shawn Constipated Porter what? Booty boy. Like Shawn Constipated Porter what? Booty boy. I'm always going to throw that fucking uppercut. But anyways, you don't know where you want to stand. On one end, Errol the True Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford are leagues and shoulders, right? They're the two special fighters at 147. But yet it's going to be a close fight against a very flawed and a constipated fighter in Shawn Constipated Porter. And then you waffled because you said when they compared Shawn Constipated Porter and Terrence Bud Crawford, they said, well, will this fight let us know where Errol the True Spence is saying? He's like, no, they're different fighters. Shawn Constipated Porter is nowhere near Terrence Bud Crawford. That's what you said indirectly. That's the way I understood it. And that's the way any real G, super real G, and ultimate real G out here in these boxing streets understood it. But the classic Dos and the Troglodytes, they didn't get it. That's why I say you're a walking contradiction. Roy Jones Jr., you contradicted yourself. Because you said Terrence Bud Crawford proved that he was a good fighter against Gamboa. Don't get me started. Mikey Garcia ain't better than no damn Eucur's Gamboa? In terms of resume? Come on, man. We're not talking about boxing skill because Mikey Garcia ducked Gamboa. And I'm one of the motherfuckers to say that shit. I'm talking about in terms of boxing resume. You contradicted yourself, Roy hating and trolling ass Jones. Because on one end, you sat here and said, Errol the True Spence, right, needs to prove himself. And then on the other end, you said Terrence Bud Crawford already proved himself. Because Terrence Bud Crawford already showed me fights. But then here's where you contradicted yourself. You said Mikey Garcia was that credible win, but you can't say it's a credible win on the resume, but he was 2 weight classes too low. Errol the True Spence wasn't looking for that motherfucker. You forgot everybody at 147 was ducking Errol the True Spence. The only one that wanted that free smoke was Terrence Bud Crawford. But Terrence Bud Crawford wasn't at 147 yet when Errol the True Spence had all these other motherfuckers that was ducking his ass. Come on, man. You got to call a spade here. So when a guy who was ranked number 4 on the pound for pound list, who you at the time was saying he's going to give Errol the True Spence fits and problems, that's why I say these motherfuckers, they speak too sideways out of their ass. And I'm debunking their foolery. Then now all of a sudden, Errol the True Spence ain't proving himself. So Kell Brook, that wasn't a fight where he proved himself. Come on, man. Higgity fucking hush, dog. Now let's go to Leo Santa Cruz. He's a punch drunk dude. He's a human pinata. So I expect him to talk the way he's talking. He says Spence, but it's going to be a close fight. Dude, you've been taking too many fucking hits to the head. Next. Now let's talk about Ricky Wright. Ricky Wright is the only real motherfucker that talked out of this whole crop. Ricky Wright said, look, man, we need to settle who's the elite person at 147. I like that. That's real boxing talk right there. Because he said after the Shawn Constipated Porter fight, now we're going to get the fight between him and Terrence Bud Crawford, hopefully. And that fight is going to settle who's the elite fighter at 147. Because everyone knows Winky Wright's career was always about that free smoke, man. So he's speaking from experience. Let me say that again. Winky Wright's career was always about that free smoke, and he's speaking from experience. He was the only real motherfucker out of all these motherfuckers that talk. The only motherfucker that was real. We know what Teddy Atlas said. Errol the True Spence ain't no damn mirage. Meaning there's no smoke and mirrors with Errol the True Spence. So Teddy Atlas know what the fuck he talking about. Chris Algieri. Even though he said Porter's tough, Errol the True Spence has a lot of skills behind those hands. I know because I've been in the ring with him. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. Julian Williams. He knew what the fuck he was talking about. Because he said, Shawn Porter's tough, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I spar both of them. I fought Errol in the amateurs, and I spar Shawn Constipated Porter. And let me tell you something. I just don't see how Shawn Porter's gonna get past Errol. Because Shawn likes to bully you. He likes to smother you. But Errol's strong, and Errol can counter all of that. Now that's real fucking talk right there. That's what I want to hear. I'm not telling people to be like me and say 100-0. Which it should be 100-0 because I've already debunked this percentage nonsense in boxing. I'm just saying, let's keep it a buck here, man. Let's call a spade a spade. We see the difference here. Errol the True Spence is the smarter fighter. He's the more cerebral fighter. Hence, tactical aggression versus ineffective aggression. Errol the True Spence is the more fundamentally and technically sound fighter. Tactical aggression versus ineffective aggression. Errol the True Spence does everything else better than him. He's the undefeated fighter. There's no blueprint to beat him. Let me say it again. He's the undefeated fighter, and there's no blueprint to beat him. But we have plenty of blueprint and plenty of intel on Shawn Constipated Porter, folks. So what the fuck are we talking about here? This is why I said I don't get some of these people. They all should be unanimously saying Spence. I don't care if they say Spence by knockout, Spence by unanimous decision, Spence by split decision. Spence need to be coming out of all their fucking mouths. Because everyone knows Shawn Constipated Porter is not winning this fight. The only person who knows that Shawn Constipated Porter is winning this fight because he goes to sleep with him at night is Shawn Constipated Porter. What? Booty boy. The only person that knows that Shawn Constipated Porter has a chance to win this fight because he's delusional and hypocritical like Shawn Constipated Porter because he sleeps with him at night is Shawn Constipated Porter. What? Booty boy. That's the only motherfucker, dog. Other than that, everybody else knows what time it is. Errol the True Spence come September 28 is going to what? Bulldoze Shawn Constipated Porter. This is Hino's the Sport. Checking out.